don't, yeah, it's just, it's like a, yeah, it's just, and like any movie of this, there is a fly in here. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. I think one of you mentioned that it's always a stale movie review. Yes, it is almost always a stale movie review. Sorry. Today I'm going to be talking about The Editor. So if any of you saw my last... Thing is, I'm filming this in advance, so I don't know if I'm going to get a horror block. If I'm going to get my horror block before this goes up, or it's not going to be till after this goes up. I'm not really sure. If you watched my unboxing of the... Shit, what month was it even? Was it the March one? I think it was the March horror block. If you watched my March horror block unboxing, the little teaser card at the bottom said that next month's box, meaning this month's box, meaning April. That was confusing. April's horror block was going to have an item slash items from the movie The Editor. And I distinctly recall not knowing whether that was a movie or not when I first looked at it. The Editor is a spoof. It's, I guess I would say it's like a parody, spoof, tribute to the Italian horror kind of genre, giallo. It's like a genre of film and like books and literature and entertainment, books and literature. It's a genre of film and literature that it's like a crime, murder, mystery, horror, slasher, erotica kind of thing. Well, The Editor is about an editor, a film editor who loses 4 fingers on his right hand, and he's kind of stuck editing these crappy giallo films. And in the midst of the filming, there is a murderer on the loose who is slowly killing off the cast and crew, and kind of like the calling card this killer leaves behind is chopping off the fingers, the 4 fingers on the right hand of the victim. So naturally, the editor, Ray Sizzo, is the prime suspect in the murder. So it's about the whole murder mystery and Ray trying to figure out what's going on while he's got the detective Porphyry on his tail. The movie is directed by Adam Brooks and Matthew Kennedy, who play Ray Sizzo and Peter Porphyry respectively. It's really funny. It's it's one of those things almost, I was reading up on the movie and a lot of reviews were saying like, or it sounded like almost unsure whether it was bad on purpose, which I kind of understood that it was bad on purpose. Hopefully it was bad on purpose. But it seemed like there was a lot of confusion whether it was like purposefully a horrible movie or it was like just a bad movie. I understood that it was like, it was taking the characteristics of a subgenre of horror and blowing them out of proportion. It's like a hyperbole of of the giallo genre. I wouldn't say it's making fun of it. Like I said, it felt more like a tribute, but it's like poking fun at it at the same time. Almost like how Scream is a slasher movie, but it's poking fun of slasher movies at the same time. But it's not like making fun of it. It's like making fun of it in like a loving way. So knowing that going into it, I feel like I might have had, I feel like I had a better time watching it than I would have if I didn't know anything about it going into it. So I found the movie really funny and entertaining the entire time. And then of course you get like a really good amount of excessive gore and nudity in the movie. So that's always good. Like any movie of this subgenre, everything gets kind of like ridiculous at the end and just more and more ridiculous as it goes. So as the movie goes on, it gets a little bit surreal. Like at one point Ray, he gets pulled into like a screen, and it's all very, very strange. And the ending just gets more and more batshit crazy. I won't go into it because you kind of just have to go watch it for yourself. But just know that this movie is purposefully like it is. Like the really horrible like voice dubbing and the acting and the really awkward dialogue and all that is on purpose. I think if you know that going into the movie, you're gonna have a better time watching it. So I found it really entertaining, and I would definitely recommend going to watch it if you haven't watched it already. I'm glad I did before I see this month's HorrorBlock, because I feel like I would be probably horribly confused whatever the item or thing that we're gonna get that's related to this movie is gonna be. I feel like I'm saying a lot of sentences. I feel like I'm saying a lot of sentences in this video that just are like they don't have a lot of good structure. I'm sorry. So if you've seen the editor, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And thank you very much for subscribing if you are subscribed already. And if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, stay strange.